All right, today we are diving into a really powerful and, let's be honest, a totally revolutionary teaching from the book of Matthew. It's this complete redefinition of what it means to be great, and it pretty much challenges everything we think we know about influence and power. I mean, just think about it for a second. In our world, what does greatness look like? Usually it's follower counts, right? Fancy job titles, corner offices, public awards. We've got these really clear symbols for who's important. But the passage we're looking at today, it's going to flip that whole idea on its head. So, to get this radical new idea, you first have to understand the scene. Jesus is talking to a crowd, and he points right at the religious leaders of the day, the Pharisees and the Torah teachers. Now, you got to remember, these guys were the most respected, the most visibly devout people in their society. In everyone's eyes, they were the definition of spiritual greatness. And here's where it gets really interesting. The main word Jesus uses to describe them is hypocrites. But the original Greek word, hypocrisy, wasn't just an insult like it is today. It literally meant an actor. Someone on a stage playing a part, wearing a mask. So Jesus isn't just saying they're fakes. He's saying they are performers putting on a religious show for everyone. And this right here, this is the heart of his criticism. Their motivation wasn't some private, genuine devotion to God. Nope. It was a public performance for an audience. Every single religious act was designed for maximum visibility, all to get applause and approval from the people watching. So, what did this performance actually look like? Well, Jesus doesn't just talk in generalities. He gets super specific. He points to these clear, visible things they were doing. Obvious signs that their faith was way more about showmanship than it was about substance. Okay, for example, devout men back then wore these small leather boxes with scripture inside, and they had tassels on their shawls to remind them of God's laws. And these were good things. But the leaders, they took it to a whole other level. They made their prayer boxes extra wide and their tassels extra long. Why? Not out of devotion, but to basically broadcast how pious they were. It was a costume, all designed to make them look super holy. And their performance wasn't just about what they wore, it was about their social status. They were all about getting the VIP treatment. The best seat at the dinner party, the front row seats at worship. They loved being noticed in the marketplace and, this is a big one, being called by these special fancy titles like rabbi, which means teacher or master. These titles were like badges of honor that set them apart from everybody else. So right after he exposes this whole culture of performance and climbing the social ladder, Jesus just pivots. He offers a completely different way forward, a direct command to his own followers that was totally countercultural. I mean, wow, this is a stunning moment. He tells them, don't you dare play that status game. He's telling them to reject the very titles the religious leaders were chasing after. Don't look for titles that lift you up above other people. And why? Because you have one teacher, and you are all on the same level. You're brothers, you're equals. The implication here is just huge. He's basically taking a sledgehammer to the whole ladder of spiritual status. He tells them to stop calling spiritual leaders father because they only have one true father who is in heaven. The entire system of public honor and rank is just being tossed out the window for a community of equals. So, if greatness isn't about titles and honor and putting on a show, where do you find it? Well, Jesus gives a new definition, one that was, frankly, shocking at the time. And there it is, the radical reversal. In this new way of thinking, true greatness isn't about being served, it's about becoming the servant. The highest position is actually the lowest one. The person who wants to be first has to choose to put themselves last and serve everyone else. So the path is laid out pretty clearly, and it's the complete opposite of the world's way. Step 1, you actively reject the whole status game. Step 2, you consciously choose an attitude of humility. And step 3, from that place, you become a servant to everybody around you. It's not passive. It's an active, deliberate choice you make. Jesus then boils this entire revolutionary teaching down into one unforgettable principle. It's like a paradox that works like a law of spiritual physics. This is the core principle of the whole thing, and it's both a promise and a warning. If you spend your life trying to build yourself up, grabbing for status and recognition, the end result is going to be humiliation. But if you willingly choose the path of humility, the path of service, the end result will be exaltation. You can see it laid out perfectly here. There are two paths, and they have opposite starting points and opposite destinations. The world tells you to climb, promote yourself, get all the honor you can. But Jesus says that path ultimately leads down. His new way is to intentionally go low, to serve, to humble yourself. And that, he says, is the only path that actually leads up. So what does this all boil down to? It's this. The real measure of a genuine faith isn't the performance we put on for other people. It's not about how religious you look. It's all about a heart of humility that leads to a life of real service, whether or not anybody is even watching. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought to wrestle with, doesn't it? We all want to make an impact, to have some influence in the world. But what if the source of real, lasting greatness isn't found in climbing over others, but in our willingness to bend down and serve them? What if that is greatness redefined?